Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lenore von Stein, and this is an episode of The Facts, and I'm here with Beth Griffith and Andrew Bolotowsky. And what this episode is called is Thinking and Making Art.
How can I judge? There is so much I don't know, and I don't want to take the time.
So this episode is about this, making art is to me is making things in order to talk for real, to talk comprehensively. And that means bringing in lots of lines of things that are happening simultaneously, contradicting one another, bouncing off of one another, and that's what's actually happening. Art is an important companion for me. If I'm anxious or I'm waiting for someone, I can practice, or I can write, or I can draw, or I can do something. It's better than just pretending, because I'm creating something, and it's a good friend like food. we're playing in this big open studio with people walking around back there. Sometimes my eyes are wandering. So these days, more often than I used to in the past, I always wanted to do this, to say what I mean and mean what I say. I mean, when I was a kid, I wrote this on my wall. I painted it on my wall from Alice in Wonderland, say what you mean and mean what you say, because I had such a hard time doing it. And that was the thing that attracted me to acting, because that's what actors call living in the moment. And because it gave me a chance, a possibility of being for real, at least for that time that I was on the stage. And I'm wondering if that's why this culture, our culture, is so obsessed with actors on a deeper level, because this idea that they can sense this possibility, this being for real possibility. You certainly don't see that when when you're watching most things. Imagine that on CBS News.
How can I judge? There is so much I don't know, and I don't want to take the time. Where's the circle?
Music, I mean, perhaps the music here, I hope the music, it's for me often, it's when there aren't enough words, words just won't do the trick, music, and then music won't do the trick, words, and the art that nourishes me really nourishes me. I like, just pulling fleas out of my hair kind of stuff too. I watch TV, but the stuff that really nourishes me is not a popularity contest. It's an adventure. It's a quest. It's a understanding more of who I am, and insight. And it's not something that you can copy from other people, because copies aren't valuable, because they're not on topic, they're not instructive. It's not that they're just new. It's that they are, at best, approximations. They're not made of the stuff about this that's made up of the situations that you're talking about. They're copies.
No. Nuts. Dogma, don't
recently I've been pondering programmatic versus absolute music without really, I've used these terms for many years, but I never really knew how they were defined anyway. So I used to think I write absolute music, I'm pure. And the Oxford Dictionary says that programmatic music is intended to evoke images or convey a compression of events, and absolute music is instrumental music composed purely as music, not intended to represent or illustrate something else. And that's why composers used abstract titles like number 5 in G major, so they wouldn't be tied to anything extra musical. Of course, all of my pieces do have titles, and they are about something. And tonight we played Criteria, Losing Weight, or we will be playing Alfred Hitchcock, Construction, Guitar, and right now we're going to play something called Next to New. They're going to play it. I'm reading, the reason that I've been thinking again about programmatic, so I'm reading this really good book about the evolution of Beethoven's music by Lewis Lockwood. And Lockwood says that as a tone poet, Beethoven accepted and exploited music's power to evoke nameable, identifiable externalities, the trees, the war, the this and that. But as a pure musician, he rejoiced in composing music whose structural and expressive power reinforced its claim to autonomy. I don't even know how to do programmatic music. I mean, absolute music. I don't know how to do it. Is anybody got a dime?
The window.
Do sexual roles, the roles that men and women play, gender roles, or there's more than that, I guess, gender roles. But anyway, they are culturally sustained, and they satisfy the organization of a particular society, and they're inherited, but not like genes. And all the societies that I know of feature an unequal access to resources and power. Who's the boss and why?
Ooh, I. Who's and what? Who's and who's what? Oh my God.
I just think there's like 55 million, zillion, billion, quadrillion things, and all of them are, all of them are important, and I can't ever find the truth without getting a hold of them, but I can't get a hold of them. I mean, so come on, because there are so many. Come on, so many, and they're moving. So this is the stuff with making art, thinking about things that I really care about. I don't really want to do a whole lot of that. Thinking about things that I really care about, because it's scary and it can be depressing, and a lot of the times I would imagine, like many people, I'm just trying to, get through it, and get to sleep, or, and not think about these things, but I have to think about these things as an artist. That's my job, I assume that's my responsibility. I have to, if I'm going to be for real, I got to be for real, and if what I have to offer my fellow human beings is me for real, then, here we go, I just said it. So, so writing something down, so when I, get myself, or I start writing, I'm not so upset, but let's say, somewhere I get upset, I'm writing, because I'm always writing about things that disturb me. I mean, I'm always making art about something that disturbs me, but that's the thing that propels me to make something. I'm uncomfortable with the situation, so I'm trying to figure it out. And so when I write something or I perform something, and I'm focusing on a disturbing experience or feeling, the act of making the piece unravels some of those mysteries. I go to sleep that night, not only because I think that, maybe sometimes because I think the thing that I wrote is, wonderful, but because I go to sleep, feeling better because I've had some insight, and it brings it brings a more solid peace of mind than I had before I was prodded into, for whatever reason, into thinking about this thing that disturbs me that I couldn't avoid. I mean, what could prod me except, it's, what makes things move except, something pushes them, and usually you're not aware of what it is that pushes them, and or at least I'm not, unless it's something very dramatic. And so that's that's why I make art, and I think that's a big purpose for it. It's certainly a purpose for it, for me as an audience to other people's art, and a good reason to keep it going. And all societies have had it. We all know cavemen and everything. Everybody does. All people have always done this. And some societies have very little of it. But that's not good. Somebody told me a story about some place where there are very few festivals and very few anything, and people had worked all the time, and they don't have drawings, very many drawings. They must have had some, but it's a dry life. You eat the same foods, and you. Because life is enormous, it's enormous, and to just be notching in it in the same ways over and over again. Can that be healthy? I went to a graduation today, graduation of a friend of mine, and people were saying, yeah, it's just the beginning. You're just a beginning. You're just going out. I mean, I don't know what happened to the other 24 years of her life. She began a long time ago. Because it could be the beginning of a new phase. We're always beginning. Except when, except then, and except that, and accept that, and accept that, and accept that, and leave that out, and accept that, and grab that, and take that, and leave that here, and get me something else, and
which makes me and all of them.
You can catch us on the web. This is the facts. We're on M&N, and you can catch us on the web. And I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I enjoyed myself.
And why we sing.
So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I think I can say from all of us, good night.